in being followed on my way home from work every day. It started a week ago. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia. The streets always felt emptier at night, the shadows longer, the silence heavier. I told myself I was just imagining things, that the faint footsteps echoing behind me were just my own rebounding off the buildings. But by the third night, I knew better. Someone was following me. I work late shifts at a small diner downtown. It's a quiet job, and the tips aren't great, but it pays the bills. My apartment is about 10 blocks away, too close to warrant a cab, but just far enough to make the walk uncomfortable. At night, the first time I noticed the footsteps, I thought it was just another night owl heading home. But when I turned a corner, so did they. When I quickened my pace, so did they. And when I quickened my pace, my heart pounded. I didn't dare turn around. Instead, I darted into a convenience store and lingered inside for 10 minutes, pretending to browse the shelves. When I finally stepped back outside, the street was empty. I convinced myself it was just a coincidence. But it kept happening. Every night without fail, the footsteps returned. I tried different routes, zigzagging through side streets, cutting through alleys, even doubling back once or twice. It didn't matter. The footsteps always found me. I started carrying pepper spray. I kept my phone in my hand, my thumb hovering over the emergency dial. But what terrified me most wasn't just the footsteps, it was the feeling, the certainty that whoever was following me wasn't just some random stranger. They were watching me, studying me, waiting. Last night, I decided to test them. I left work as usual, but instead of heading straight home, I took a detour to the train station. If my stalker was still following me, they'd have to reveal themselves in the open. My heart pounded with every step, my ears straining for that familiar sound. And then I heard it closer this time. I walked faster, nearly jogging now. The footsteps matched my pace. I veered left toward a brightly lit intersection, hoping to lose them. But when I reached the crossing and stole a glance over my shoulder, my blood ran colder. There was no one there, just an empty street. I stood there, frozen, my breath coming in short gasps. My hands were trembling. I was sure, absolutely sure, that someone had been behind me just moments ago, but now nothing. That's when I noticed something strange. The streetlights around me flickered, not all at once, but in sequence, as if something was moving past them, something I couldn't see. I turned and ran. By the time I reached my apartment, I was drenched in sweat. I slammed the door behind me, locked every deadbolt, and pressed my back against the wood, trying to catch my breath. My heart felt like it was going to explode. For the first time in years, I slept with the lights on. Tonight I'm writing this because I don't know what else to do. I can't call the police. What would I even say? Officer, I think I'm being followed, but I can't see who's following me. They'd laugh me out of the station. But I know it's real. I can feel them watching, waiting, getting closer. And I don't know how much longer I can outrun them.